we're going to do it in the style a la Hendrix, first we got to play the right chords. So what we could do, okay, now what I've done, and I'm going to keep it as simple as possible, I'm basically hitting these same chords, and then I'm going to use, if my chord is here, okay, and keep in mind this finger right here, because we're going to utilize that a lot. I'm basically going to go on the A string, the D string, and the G string, and I'm going to use frets 8 and 10. Okay, so it's a major chord on the A shape. I'm going to use the whole step behind the chord, okay, to do all my, okay. So what I did was, I slid up on the A string, so I hit the chord. So I do 1, 2, and then I'm going to slide up on the A string to the 10th fret, 8 to 10. Okay, and I'm going to go slide up, catch the 8th fret on the D, back to 10th fret on the D or A, and then, okay, now when I do that, I'm hitting a double stop, which is the D and the G, 8th fret, and I'm hammering on and pulling off the 10th fret. And then I'm going to do the same kind of thing when I get up to the next group of strings, where I'm going to do a double stop on the A and the D, and I'm hammering on to the 10th fret A, but make sure that D is ringing. Okay, now my finger's already right where it needs to be, and what I can do is I can hammer on to the 9th fret and catch that suspended note that we like in there, and then use the same group of strings to do my next little riff. So I got the 8th and 10th frets on the G, the D, and on the A. So, okay, hammer on, pull off 9. And then when I go here, you can basically, if you're familiar with the pentatonic scale, use the minor pentatonic first position to mess around on that chord. So we're here. And then we go down. And I go back to the same kind of philosophy I did on the E flat. Okay? And I use, right behind this B chord, I use the 9th and 11th frets of the E, A, and the D now. Okay? So if I put all that together in the Hendrixian way, Hendrixian, yeah. Whatever. All right, here we go. I go back, maybe do something a little bit, right? So what I did there is I slid up on the 8th fret to the 10th fret, and now that double stop that I did before, I'm going to slide it rather than hammer on and pull off. I'm going to use both frets, the 8th fret of the D and the G, and slide back and forth. Okay, so right, we go. Right, do the same kind of thing. Get ready for our next chord. Okay, and go back. Now, we can use the same ideas when we're doing these chords. So, No, let's not do that. Let's keep. So on this one, we're going to hammer on to the suspended, right? Or actually, we can use all those notes. So it would be the 4th and 6th frets of the E and the B, and then if you want, you could make it a suspended chord on the 5th and 6th frets of the G, and then walk down. Do the same thing we did up here. Okay, now when we go, so all the stuff we did on the E flat chord, you can do on the D flat chord. Okay, now when I get to a minor shape right here, and I know I'm going fast, and I've done a lot of the lessons on this on Papa Stash 102. Just look up, Rhythm in the Style of Hendrix, and it'll give you all the things that you need to understand how to play over major and minor chords, whether they're the A string version or the E string version. It goes over all that. So this will be just a little, application of those lessons. So check those out. One right here. I have to change my shape a little bit. So I'm going to go first for the 3rd fret. Got all my frets mixed up today. So A string, 3rd fret. And then we're going to go A string, 6th fret. And I'm going to mess around on the D and G, 3rd frets and 5th frets. Okay, so. And then back. And then from that point, 2, 3, right? Because at the end of the chorus, we have to end on the F sharp minor and it holds for 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2. Right? And then you can go back into just kind of playing that normal. Maybe introduce it, right? And then go back into the verse, okay? And that's just really a way to kind of make it more of a classic rock feel. Always experiment, even, because you're going to have to play if you're a professional musician, unless you're in your own band that gets a record contract and makes it, which is great if it happens. But if you want to make music a living, more likely than not, you're going to have to play all sorts of music, and not necessarily all the time the kind of music that you like. So you can take maybe pop or country or whatever and make them a little more, your own. So a little more classic rock feeling or whatever, which is all that country music does now. I mean, they take classic rock and they have somebody that sounds country singing. So if you learn to kind of infuse these styles together, you can play any genre of music and really have fun and make it your own way, which is super cool. As long as you've got the melody and the chords and all that kind of stuff, when people go to hear it live, they're going to appreciate it. So whether or not you do your own little spin or whatever, people will like the fact that you're playing those type of songs. Yes! See? Pop can be fun.